I will have my mask and goggles on prior to entering the patient's room. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Amanda and I will be the nurse taking care of you today. I know that you can't speak right now, so we will establish another form of communication. So when I ask you questions, can you please just raise your thumb up for yes and thumb down for no? Now, is your name Madison Wade? Yes. And is your birthday 3905? Yes. Okay. And would it be all right if I took a look at your wristband just to verify that? Thank you. And yes, it matches. Now I noticed that you don't have an allergy band, so do you have any allergies that I should be aware of? No? Okay. So Miss Wade, today I will be performing trach care on you. Have you had this procedure done before? Yes? Okay, so I will be suctioning any mucus you have in your lungs, cleaning and assessing the site, changing your inner cannula, which is the tube that goes in your tracheostomy, changing your dressing to prevent any contamination, as well as replacing your trach tie, which helps stabilize your breathing tube. Do you have any questions before we get started? No? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds and put on my first pair of gloves. So I need to ask, are you in any pain or discomfort right now, Miss Wade? No? Any shortness of breath? No? Okay. Now let me go ahead and take a quick look at your vitals. It looks like everything looks okay except for your respiratory rate, which is a little bit high at 24 breaths a minute, and your O2 sats are a little bit low at 90%. So that could be due to the secretions in your lungs, which I will be suctioning out later. In the meantime, would it be all right if I listen to your lung sounds? Great, thank you. So as I move the stethoscope around, please just make sure that you take deep breaths each time. All right, so I did hear a little bit of gurgles inside, and that means that there are secretions that I do need to suction out. Before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean my workspace. Do you have any questions before I go ahead and do so? No? Okay. I'm gonna go and do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds, put on another pair of gloves. And I will be disinfecting my workspace with my wipe for a full 30 seconds. And now that I've cleaned my workspace for 30 seconds, I will throw my wipe and my gloves away and let my workspace dry for 2 minutes. Do another round of hand hygiene. And in the meantime, Miss Wade, I'm going to close the curtains to give you some privacy and sit you up in a semi-phallus position. But you're already in that position, so we are good to go. Now I'm going to check and make sure I have all of my emergency bedside equipment with me. So another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds, and I'll put on my next pair of gloves. So I see that I have 2 trachs, one in a size 8, which is your normal size, as well as a size 6, which is a size down. I also have an extra inner cannula, as well as an ambu-bag connected to 100% oxygen. Let me just double check and make sure that everything's working correctly. And it is, so it looks good. And then I see that I also have a suction catheter connected to a suction canister programmed at 100 millimeters mercury, and I'll be changing that out later since I don't know the last time that this was replaced. So now that my workspace has been drying for 2 minutes, I'm going to take off my gloves, do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds, and start preparing my supplies. I'll put on another pair of gloves. Right, so first, Miss Wade, I will be changing out the catheter. As I stated before, I don't know the last time it was changed out. So first, I have this box, which I will be putting normal saline in later. I'm going to pop that open and make sure I'm not touching the plastic on the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and set that down. And then I have my new catheter. I'm going to throw away the packaging. And then I'm going to replace the old catheter with the new one. So I'm going to take out the old catheter, throw it out, pop the new catheter back in. And then since I don't need it right now, I will set it to the side for now. Now I'll get the rest of my supplies ready in the meantime. Will not be needing these sterile gloves or this trach tie. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this drape, making sure to only grab a 1-inch border. And then I'm going to put it shiny side down. Okay, doing okay so far, Miss Wade? Yes, okay. I'm gonna grab my normal saline, pour some into the container I opened earlier, and then put some in the smallest well of this container. And I'll be disposing of the saline. I'm gonna grab my inner cannula and just pop that in. Be discarding of the packaging. And then now I'm going to take off my gloves and do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds and put on a new pair of gloves. So Miss Wade, the first thing I'm going to do is hyperoxygenate you with the ambu bag to hopefully get your O2 sats back up. So first I'm going to stabilize your faceplate and take out your O2 collar. I'm going to grab the ambu bag and give you 2 breaths and wait 6 seconds in between each one. Are you ready? All right, I'm going to give the first breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, how did that go for you, Miss Wade? Are you feeling all right? Yes, okay. Let me take a look at your O2 sats. It looks like you're back up at 96%, which is good. Now I'm going to be suctioning you, which is why I will not be putting that O2 collar back on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the catheter. I'm going to test the suction to make sure it looks okay. And I see that it's programmed now at 120 millimeters mercury. Now I'm going to dip the tip of the catheter in the container of normal saline just to clean and lubricate it. And then now, Miss Wade, I'm just going to stick it into the hole. All right, are you ready? Okay, let me just go ahead and stick a little bit out. Ready in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. How did that go for you, Miss Wade? Are you all right? Yes? Okay. So before I forget, I'm going to take the tip of the catheter again and dip it into the normal saline to clean and lubricate it. And now I will no longer be needing the catheter, so I'm going to set it aside for now. And then let me just go ahead and put that O2 collar back on you and ask you a couple of questions. All right, Miss Wade, do you feel like that process was okay for you? Were you in any discomfort at all? No? Okay. And do you feel like you need to be suctioned more? No? Okay. So if you did feel like you need to be suctioned more, I would wait 30 seconds before starting the process all over and suctioning you again, and also hyperoxygenating you as needed. So now I am going to take out my gloves and do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds and put on a new pair of gloves. And Miss Wade, I will be changing out your inner cannula. Right, so Miss Wade, I'm going to stabilize the faceplate and take out the O2 collar in 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to grab the inner cannula. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to throw that away. Going to grab the new inner cannula, making sure I only grab the base and the wings. I'm going to put it in 3, 2, 1. Securing the edges right around there. Are you feeling all right, Miss Wade? Yes? Okay, so now I'm just going to assess and clean your site. So I'm going to take out that split gauze dressing. Put it off to the side. And let me look at the site real quick. I don't see any redness, swelling, or bleeding. Do you feel any itching or tingling at all? No? Okay, and I see that the tubing is still intact. There are no cracks or leaks, and that the skin around the tubing is intact, which is good. So now I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning your site, Miss Wade. I'm gonna grab my first Q-tip, dip it in the saline, swipe under. Grab the next Q-tip and dip it into the saline and swipe under there as well. Grab my first piece of gauze, dip it, swipe it right underneath. Next piece of gauze, dip it, I'll be swiping right under there. And then I'll get one last piece of gauze, and I'll be scrubbing on top of your faceplate. And with a piece of dry gauze, I'm going to pat your faceplate dry. Right, and then now I'm going to get a new split gauze dressing and then fasten it just right under there. Are you doing all right, Miss Wade? Yes, okay. I'm just about halfway done here. Just going to fasten. Right, and then I'm going to pop that O2 collar back on you. Do you feel any pain or discomfort at all during this process, Miss Wade? Yeah? Okay, great. So let me just fix that. Now let me just take a look at your vitals real quick. Let's see. Your respiratory rate has lowered to 17 breaths a minute, and your O2 sats have raised to a 97%, which is really good. Now, Miss Wade, I'm just going to grab another nurse so we can replace and change that trach stabilizer. And then, let's see. Do you have any questions or concerns for me before I head out? No? Okay. So first, I'm just going to clean my supplies. And then I'm going to put your bed in the lowest position, put your side rails up, put your call bell within reach. And then, Miss Wade, I'm going to take off my gloves, do one last round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds. You have no questions for me? No? Okay, so Miss Wade, I will be right back. Hello, I'm back, and I've brought my second nurse, Julia, with me. Now I just need to verify again, is your name Madison Wade? Yes. And is your birthday 3905? Yes. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at your wristband and make sure that it matches. And it does. Thank you. So Miss Wade, now Julia and I will be replacing that trach stabilizer around your neck, and that's the tie that secures the breathing tube to your neck. So now Julia and I will be doing 20 seconds of hand hygiene, and we'll be putting on our gloves. And as you can see, Miss Wade, both Julia and I have our masks, goggles, and gloves on. Right, so now I'm just going to stabilize the faceplate real quick and remove that O2 collar. And now, Julia, can you stabilize the faceplate, please?
Of course.
I'm going to take out this first half of the stabilizer. And let me just go ahead and assess the skin real quick. I don't see any redness, swelling, or bleeding, and there seems to be no signs of skin breakdown. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the new trach stabilizer. And then I'm going to go ahead and loop it in. You doing okay, Miss Wade? Yes, all right. I'm gonna loop that back here, and then now I will be holding and stabilizing the faceplate while Julia changes out the rest of the trach stabilizer. And then, Julia, are there any signs of redness, swelling, bleeding, or skin breakdown?
No, I don't see any signs of them.
Okay.
It looks good here.
Sounds good. All right, Miss Wade. So your trach tie has been replaced. How did that go for you? Was that okay? Yes? Okay, so now I'm just going to stabilize the faceplate and hook 2 fingers under the trach stabilizer. All right, and it looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and also put that O2 collar back on you. All right, did you feel any pain or discomfort at all during this process? No? Okay. So now Julia and I will be removing our gloves and performing another round of 20 seconds of hand hygiene. And now Julia will step out of the room as I continue the rest of my assessment of Miss Wade. So now I'm going to check your vitals, Miss Wade. It looks like everything looks good. Your respiratory rate raised from lowered from 24 breaths a minute to 17 breaths a minute. And your O2 sats raised from a 90% to a 97%, which is really good. Are you in any pain or discomfort right now? No? Okay. And are you experiencing any shortness of breath? No? All right. Now, would it be all right if I took a listen to your lung sounds? Yes? Thank you. All right, Miss Wade, so now you have bilateral clear lung sounds, which is a major improvement from earlier, which is really good. Do you think that you tolerated this procedure well? Yes? Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to double check and make sure I have all of my emergency bedside equipment with me. I see that I have 2 trachs, one in a size 8, which is your normal size, as well as a size 6, which is a size down. I also have a suction catheter connected to a suction canister programmed at 100 millimeters mercury. And then I have an ambu bag programmed at 100% oxygen. And then I also have an extra inner cannula for you. So now I'm going to put your bed in the lowest position, put your side rails up, put your call bell within reach. Do you have any questions before I step out, Miss Wade? No? All right. We'll do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds, and then I will be documenting the date and time that this procedure was performed, that the patient tolerated the procedure well, that the peristomal site had no redness, swelling, bleeding, that the tubing was intact, had no cracks or leaks, and that the skin around the area was still intact, and that the lung sounds were initially gurgly, but then became bilateral and clear after the ambu bag and suctioning, and that the sputum that was suctioned was moderately thick but clear, and that the vitals improved from 24 breaths a minute to 17, and from an O2 sat of 90% to 97%. We'll do another round of hand hygiene for 20 seconds, and then I will step out.